Well, let me tell you something, brother. My name is Charles Kahn. With me, as always, the beautiful Jenna Dojangles.
Oh, you're so nice.
Yeah,
You're so nice. Call
we're
me
gonna be real
beautiful.
weird sickos today. Gonna get into some real weird sickness.
Oh,
We've
hell
got
yeah.
Roblox most wanted man,
Yo, 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 yo.
our boy.
Ruben Sim.
What's up, people in the
How you doing
house?
today?
I feel
Ruben-
Everybody
good.
loves those noises, those air horns.
I feel like
Ruben
$1
is
million
the-
bucks.
You do.
You seem more like 1.5 million bucks.
Yeah, it's more like 1.65 plus attorney fees.
Yeah, the 1.6 million dollar man.
What's $1.65 million man? Let's go.
Yeah, 1.65 just to be a stickler.
Yeah, it feels good
So-
to not be erased from the internet yet,
Well,
legally.
I mean, I don't think you're like in danger to be erased like at all.
Uh,
You're
you say
coming
that,
up
Jenna?
on that million views. I mean,
I
You say
am.
million
that,
subscribers.
Jenna,
It's
but
coming.
I feel like we're all teetering on that edge of we're going to be unpersoned, deplatformed. We're going to be gulagged. We're going to be sent to the shadow realm.
So, speaking of which, just like kind of like to jump off, like you've been doing Roblox content for how long now?
I want to say since 2013. That's when all this really started.
Oh wow!
There was
And then-
Roblox used to do live streams, like I want to say every week, and they called them the next level. And one day they decided they were going to do a 24-hour live stream. And at the end of this live stream, everyone was really tired, and they ended up shutting off the video, but they forgot to completely cut out the stream, and you could still hear audio of them talking.
Oh,
And some staff members said some not very pleasant things about the users and the company and some of their other employees.
Oh.
And this became forever known as the 24-hour live stream incident. And so I made a video that was kind of themed like a news segment where I was covering the whole thing.
Mhm.
And that became a series known as Roblox Watch. And Roblox Watch kind of became my outlet for criticizing and making fun of a lot of stuff that happened on the platform. And when Roblox caught wind of this, they started banning me. And they banned every single account that I created for a long time. And that's really how I got my start. Right from the beginning, me and Roblox have kind of had a rivalry with each other.
From like the very, very jump, it was a not great.
marked him.
It seems like they didn't like being criticized.
Yeah,
like a lot
and-
of a lot of companies don't like to be criticized.
Yeah.
You'll find
obviously.
out
if you-
who you can't criticize if you do it hard enough.
And Roblox was a lot smaller back then, so there weren't as many people making videos criticizing them. They weren't the
Yeah,
massive gaming
So you were
giant.
like, because I mean, it being 6 years ago, definitely like that's like OG. That's like OG hate.
Yeah.
Oh, Jenna, 2013 was almost 10 years ago.
No, it wasn't. Don't tell me that. Oh God.
We're in 2022, Jenna. It's 2022. What have we done?
Stop it.
We got to go back.
So, I mean, you uploaded sometime like last week, right? About just kind of telling your story with Roblox. So this started probably maybe about like 6 months ago.
The lawsuit? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was November. And I actually, before I knew that I was getting sued, I got a message from my partner manager, the guy that brokers all the deals for my sponsorships and stuff. And he messaged me on Discord and he said, "Hey man, had a Polygon reporter reach out to you about a lawsuit filed against you by Roblox." And at first I thought that he was getting trolled because I was kind of spooked when he told me that. So I went and I checked my mail for any sort of service. There's nothing in my mailbox. I checked my email, nothing there. I even logged into Pacer, which is like the public court record index for America. And I looked up all of Roblox's legal cases and I didn't see anything related to me. And so I thought it was weird that someone at Polygon knew about this lawsuit before I did. And I'm wondering if maybe someone at Roblox tipped them off because they wanted to make sure that there would be news articles about it the day it came out.
Well, that kind of stuff happens 100%. I can confirm that. Having spent a little time in GJ, the games journalism,
Yeah.
They are as
So
thick
that's a
as
common
thieves with certain
tactic.
people.
I didn't know that. I actually did
Oh
not know
yeah,
that.
they'll tip people off. There's a lot of back scratching that goes on.
Yeah.
Where they'll get the tip off from somebody, or they'll give something. They'll get dirt from somebody about something, then give them dirt about something else. There's a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I thought it was weird that they wanted so much. I mean, I don't know if that's true. Maybe there's some other angle I'm not considering. But if that is what they did, I think it's interesting that they wanted the news to cover it so badly right away. And I think it's because they knew that they could have known. I don't want to say anything too certain because part of the settlement is I agreed not to make false statements about Roblox. And I know if they're watching me as closely as they are, they might like try to interpret something weird.
They're going to try to play gymnastics with anything that you say anywhere and in any capacity, on Twitter, on videos, on interviews.
Right.
They're just going to, they could try to twist it, like if you misspeak and this is not him saying it, it's me saying it, like, honestly, anything's like you can leave anything open to interpretation if you try hard enough, Yeah.
Well, the day I actually found out they were suing me is it was the day before Thanksgiving, and I woke up and my Twitter and my Discord inbox were like getting spammed by all my viewers telling me, "Oh, we wish you luck. Best of luck, Ruben. I hope you get through this."
Oh, fuck!
And that's a hell of a way to find out.
And I checked the news, and sure enough, Roblox had a 20-something page complaint against me. And the first thing I did was I opened OBS and I actually recorded myself reading it. And I haven't released the footage anywhere yet. I'm thinking about editing it into a video once the whole lawsuit series is over. But right off the bat, the complaint called me the leader of a cyber mob, which was a little flattering.
I just love the language of that. A cyber mob.
Yeah. So
like, it was. What is a cyber mob?
I still don't know. I think they're talking about my YouTube viewers.
Like Joe Pesci's got the cyber mafia. It's a thing of ours. It doesn't exist. The cyber mafia.
But they called me the leader of a cyber mob, so I'm the Bin Laden of Roblox now. They called me a hacker because I made new accounts after being banned, which is something that everyone does.
Everybody
not just on Roblox.
banned. Did it even like PewDiePie get banned? Where
yeah,
PewDiePie had
he
to
was
make
banned.
His own. Yeah, like everybody's
So I mean,
gotten
technically,
banned from
PewDiePie is a hacker too, by that logic. People do that for Twitter. They do it for Facebook. There's YouTubers that make new channels after they get banned, even if the terms of service says you can't do that. And so the way Roblox interprets that is there's a law called, I think it's like the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act or something like that, that says if you exceed your authorized access, meaning you go beyond what you're allowed to do on a computer system like Roblox's servers, that's considered hacking.
That's
and
ridiculous.
So by this logic, Roblox, one of the laws that they cited as me violating was that Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, which is basically the United States' definition of hacking.
That's ridiculous. That's so fucking ridiculous.
And you made a new account, or several dozen, or whatever.
So you mean to tell me that everybody that's ever ban-evaded on Twitter is a hacker?
That's according to the law. Apparently, that's how it works.
I wonder if they suspended Elon Musk off Twitter today. So I wonder if he's going to be like,
no way! Wow,
he's going to be like an epic hacker, and he's going to come back.
Yeah,
that'd be fun if he did. Like my friend, every time he would get banned, he would come back with his name, but not in front of it, or totally not.
Yeah.
This is no way. This is me, and he'd change his avatar to where it'd have an eye patch, or a little mustache, or a sombrero. Just absurd things like that, just to be silly.
Yeah, I've tried the same thing on Roblox. I've made accounts that are like not Ruben Sim.
Yeah,
they get banned pretty quickly. But
this isn't the Ruben Sim you're looking for.
From calling me a hacker, sorry, go ahead.
No.
Okay,
you go on.
So they said that they spent over $100,000 banning my accounts from their website and trying to keep me off the platform, which is an extraordinary amount of money.
Most people,
I don't believe that.
Ban?
Right, that's what I thought. I think they're probably factoring in like the salaries that they pay their moderators and stuff like that.
They pay their moderators?
They probably like we had 4 different moderators ban him, and their salaries are X amount every year. So,
Yeah, could
he's
be. I don't
costing
know.
us
Could be,
money.
could
So
be.
don't you, but you have moderators. That's what their job is to do, is to moderate. So, yeah, I mean, really, you're spending that just to like run the whole goddamn site, right?
Yeah, for the longest time, I thought that there was kind of a conflict in Roblox where some employees really hated me and some employees really liked me. I had a video that I put out that was like a parody of a tour video they released of their headquarters, and I made this joke about there was like a food bar with like guacamole in it. There's like a huge tub of guacamole for the staff to eat out of. And so I made this joke where the employees had to eat the guacamole, and it was like mandatory, and if they didn't, they'd get fired or something like that. And an actual staff member at Roblox told me that they like regularly referenced that joke at the headquarters of Roblox. So obviously,
that's a funny joke. That's a funny thing to say.
It's funny.
I had some fans on the inside, and I kind of figured like sometimes they wanted to ban me and sometimes they didn't, because a lot of the times I would have accounts that would last years without getting banned. And just last year, I started developing a game, and I applied for their developer exchange program, and they actually started paying me money in exchange for the Robux that I earned on their website. So as of last year, for the longest time, at least up until I got banned on that account, I thought that I was welcome on Roblox. I thought that I was still allowed on the website. And then they released this complaint.
How long did you have that account for? Like, what was the longest?
The account that I was developing the game on, I want to say it was like 2 years. It was like 2 years old without being banned. And then I made a separate account to apply for DevX, but I used all my real information. So I used like my real name, my phone number, my address, all that stuff.
So that wasn't a fraud. You didn't defraud them with using your real information. So
right, I could have used like a fake name and
give them
tried
1, 2, 3 Fake Street.
Yeah,
it's Will Ya Blow Me?
Everybody loves those names. Barry McGonkiner.
Yeah. So I wanted to tell Ruben the prank I pulled on Ice Cube. Ice Cube one day asked for the names of police chiefs and somebody in I think it was Bakersfield. For some reason he was mad about police chiefs in Bakersfield. And I sent him all of these Simpsons names. Felter Snatch Up, Pussy Came In. That was one of them.
Yep.
I want to say My Crotch was in there.
There was a whole bunch of them.
I just fired off like 10 or so stupid names and sent them in. I thought, okay, everybody will have a laugh at this and we'll just move on with our lives. Ice Cube retweeted it and wrote "Who do what."
Oh wow!
To 5 million people.
That was the best. That was the best.
If there's
Charles
a defining
moment
prank, if there's a defining prank of mine, that might be the one.
Cop Killer, wasn't that his name on NWA?
Oh,
that's Ice-T.
Oh,
yeah, Ice-T when he was in
getting my ices mixed
I think
up.
was the name of the. It was weird. There's a weird thing with Ice-T and the Cop Killer thing. Like, so he put out the song "Cop Killer" with his heavy metal band, which is called, the name of the band was Body Count or something like that. But it somehow got attributed to rapper Ice Cube or Ice-T. There's too many Ices. The rapper is the one who put out this song, not a heavy metal guy. Too many
Isis.
Yeah. Well, there's Vanilla Ice. There's
but ISIS, get it?
ICE, Immigrations and Customs. There's a lot of ice going on.
We all know about your far right politics, Jen.
Oh yeah, super. I'm very political.
Yeah. Jen is well known for her politics and her support of ICE.
Yes, ISIS. I have no idea. Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
So, aside from saying I'm a hacker, a cyber mob leader, and that they spent $100,000, I know, right? It sounds so cyberpunk. Mob.
Yeah.
And so they also said that I tweeted a photoshopped image of one of their openly gay employees, and they made sure to include the openly gay part because I guess it makes me homophobic or something. That I was depicting him nude in this image, and the reality of that is that a few years ago, Roblox had a social media manager. This was the guy that ran their Twitter account. I think he ran their Facebook account, maybe their YouTube. And he was also on the live stream that they did, the Next Level. He was, I don't know if he was like a host, but he appeared on it really regularly. And so while he held this position at Roblox, he opened a Tumblr blog where he would reblog a lot of fetish porn, including there's a lot of furry porn. There was giant porn. There was I don't know if I would call it porn, but there's some very suggestive images of Marvel superhero characters.
There had to have been vor. There was vor in there too, wasn't there?
Most people are into I think it's giantess is what it's called.
Yeah, but this is mainly
vor and that stuff goes together, like where you want to be. I think it's the dudes that want to be crushed and eaten.
Yeah, there was
that's what it is.
A picture of Ant-Man being stepped on by Captain America, which was a little suspicious. I won't say that one was exactly porn, but there was a lot of porn, especially furry porn on there. And I thought was weird.
It's as sexual as you make it, you know?
Yeah, and there was a lot of porn of his fursona. He had a fursona that was like a spotted cat, and a lot of the porn on this blog was porn of like a spotted cat character, which I thought was really weird because even on Roblox, he kind of expressed this interest in the whole spotted cat persona.
I mean, I guess that was just... I think a lot of these furry guys, they want to live the gimmick 24/7. It's a weird thing.
And they want everyone else to
spend a lot of money on commissioning art. A lot of artists that I know on Twitter, like they'll make a shit ton of money if they just do NSFW of furries.
I thought for years, because I've been on the line for a long time, and I was a moderator and admin on forums and stuff, and so I've encountered furries before, and I thought for years that it was just, gay dudes, like they were into it. I had no idea that women were into it also until I heard a wild story from a gal who told me about just a crazy orgy. And like, I just stood there, just nodding my head, just confused with my mouth. I'm like, it just kept getting worse and worse, this story. And it's, God, I had no idea that was what was going on at these places, these furry conventions.
Internet Historian has a really good video on Rainforest, which was a big fur con that ended up getting shut down because they had so many incidents there.
Yeah.
And furries will defend their fandom to the death and say, no, it's not sexual. It's not about porn. There's a website called Fur Science that actually studies furries, and their goal is to remove the stigma around the community. And they have a section of their website dedicated to research where they actually polled furries at a fur con. And I think that they found out one of the questions was, of all the furry art that you view, what percentage of it is pornographic? And the average answer was like 50%.
Oh,
not to knock the furries, there is one positive story that I heard about furries. There was a guy who told me a story about taking his daughter. She was a teenage girl at the time. She wanted to go. She got way into the furry stuff. She was, severely autistic. And he said, taking her to the furry convention with her furry outfit on, and he's walking around, just fly on the wall in this thing. Said that she come alive. Said she was talking to people. She was happy. She wanted to, take pictures with people in her furry outfit and their furry outfits. Said that they got out of there really quickly once it started to get dark at like 5, 6 o'clock. But said that she had the time of her life doing that. And I think about that one too with the furry thing. So maybe it's not all bad. Maybe it's people that are kind of coming out of their shell.
Yeah, I don't believe it's all bad.
We all wear masks.
Everything that you wear a mask, but basically a lot of things.
I mean,
that you
social masks, Jenna. Social masks.
If you're not in that community, we're only going to know what we see, and if anything goes, and I don't want to see mainstream, but mainstream parts of the internet, we're going to hear more about the bad side of the furry community than we're going to hear about the normal side. Exactly. Like the litter boxes and the fucking ball pits and shit. Like you're going to hear about all of the really negative things that are funny that we can laugh at.
That's what sticks out in people's heads. Not, this girl who's normally really shy and quiet, she got to come out of her shell and have a really good time with people.
Yeah, I think that part of what draws people to it is when you're in a fursuit, you're completely covered and no one knows who you are. So it kind of makes you more inclined to express yourself because you're not worried about how people will judge you.
I feel like it'd just be, I always heard from guys that did suits for movies, like those, like Harry and the Hendersons or The Predator, that kind of thing, that those suits were just so hot to wear that they would make you sweat bullets.
They invented yiffing.
That was the impetus. You think the Predator costumes where it all started?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, and
We've
then
gone full
because then
circle.
it's like when things that people are enthused about like cross like with the other, because you like then you have like
furries are disgusting.
Then you have like your furry diaper people too.
Yeah,
like,
that's even weirder.
They're furries,
then
but
you're
they
combining
like to
the baby thing. So I'm sure Ruben knows about these baby men.
The baby furs.
The guys who just want to be baby men and live as babies, and that's their thing. They want to. I guess it's like that dog girl where she just wants to walk around 24/7 as a
and
dog.
her name is Jenna too. That pisses me off.
Yes.
Oh no.
They want to live life as babies and have people wipe their ass for them. It's like, man, what?
They hire people to like pay to be like they're like hooker. I don't want to say hooker mommy, but like basically like hooker mommy, I guess it's like.
I bet somebody makes a good living wiping asses for baby men. That's
they're
her
on
specialty.
That Goo Goo Gaga shit.
That's her specialty. Is just, you know what? I only handle baby men. I could change a diaper real fast. That's just crazy.
Hey, it's a way of life. Man. It's a way of life. So, but going back to this blog, the climax of it was beyond all the furry shit. Some of the last posts that he made were nudes of himself, and they weren't ordinary nudes where like you take a picture in the mirror of yourself naked. This guy actually went out in the middle of the desert, outside in the middle of the day, and stripped naked except for his shoes, and had his friend take pictures of his ass while he's out in the middle of nowhere.
So can you Tumblr
wait. Okay, is there more to him just like bending over and kind of goatseeing a little bit, or what's the deal?
They're just like him standing very proudly, facing away from the cameras, so you can't see his face. He was very careful not to include his face on this blog.
Good move.
But
good move.
The way I identified him was because he had shoes on that had that spotted cat print.
Oh, he gave himself away.
It was the same print that his Roblox avatar was
wearing. That hearing this, I know it's funny. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, and that's
why
I
feel bad for him. I'm like, oh man, he put that out there, and now that's out there forever.
Right, and I avoided revealing his name or showing his face in the video because I kind of felt bad for him. This was back before Tumblr was banning porn. And
that's what I was thinking was you can't do that.
That was before Tumblr died.
Yeah, right. The seventh seal of the internet was broken. And that was the moment like Walter Peck walked in and turned off the machine and let loose all the ghosts in New York City.
And then they all fled to Twitter.
Yeah.
And now Twitter's polluted.
Do you think do you think that maybe he wanted to get like caught that way? Because that just seems like
maybe.
You think it's like the Louis C.K. thing? Like there's something to it with that?
Well, I think that was his thing. How could you overlook something that's so like identifiably you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like,
and he had other pictures on the blog of himself that had his face covered up. That was the real way that I confirmed that it was him, was because there were pictures. There was like a photo of him. I want to say he was in like a strip club or something, and you can see like a girl in the background. And the uncensored version of that photo is available on the internet. A lot of people shared it on Twitter. But on this blog, the version he uploaded had like a cat censoring his face. He put like a cat's face over his own.
Was the cat spotted?
I believe it was. I think that was his way of remaining in his persona on the blog. But I thought it was really inappropriate that Wally held such a public position at Roblox, a company where half of the users are under 13, that at the same time he's running this porn blog where he's posting nudes of himself online.
I mean, you know, you could say that, but he's not, as long as he's not cross-pollinating that sort of stuff, because I'll tell you this, Ruben, there was, back in the 90s, some of the best video game magazines were published by Larry Flint.
Larry Flint? Who's Larry Flint?
Larry Flint was the guy who ran Hustler, the most explicit of all the nudie magazines. Wow. The ones that would post the craziest conspiracy content ever.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he put out video game magazines.
I kind of get what you're saying, but they came after you for Yeah, and then they tried to make it like you were being like homophobic when it was just like
why did
the
they
guy
mention
was
he
just
was
being,
It's just more
gay?
like mocking it and being funny with it.
Which
it's like, look at this weird thing.
It would have been the same thing had he not even been gay. It would have been the same situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, had it been a guy with a gal, it probably would have been, just as funny, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know why they decided to include that. I don't know what they were going for. But and then they tried to imply that I photoshopped it depicting him nude, which I didn't. And I had the archive of his Tumblr blog, and he even tagged it as nude and naked in the Tumblr post. So I don't know why they're saying it's depicting him nude, because he is nude.
Yes,
the way
he took it.
Right, and the way that they worded it, I think that they intentionally worded it so if I did take him to court over it, they can say, well, we didn't explicitly say that he photoshopped it to depict him nude, because the exact wording is something like tweeted a photoshopped image depicting him nude.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't actually in a desert. Maybe he was just nude in his house in front of a green screen and put the desert in later. Maybe that was the rub. Maybe he had photoshopped the image himself.
Yeah, maybe that was it, because they never said that I
they called him out on the carpet and said
maybe those spotted cats on his shoes were photoshopped.
So, but maybe they called him out and said, "What the fuck is this?" And then he was like, "That's not me. That is not my penis. Right. That is not my butthole."
I think that's what happened. There's a lot of
these OnlyFans girls that are getting caught like that at their day jobs. A lot of teachers and stuff like that getting fired.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I don't like that because it feels again, it's unless she's like walking into class like, "Hey kids, guess what I do on the weekend."
You can be like Amaranth and make $1.5 million a fucking month on OnlyFans. Did you see though? Did you see that came out today?
That's like more than Hassan makes off at Twitch.
Yeah. Listen. If I got a chance to work for her, writing jokes and gags and stuff, because I could come up with some interesting shit. I could figure out something funny for a hot chick to do in front of a camera. Believe me. Because there's 1,000 like these TikToks and Instagrams and all this shit. They're hungry for content.
Oh yeah,
you gotta always keep coming up with content. Yeah.
But I thought she was quitting OnlyFans though. Like, why would you?
Power to her if people want to buy it.
Why would you quit that money? That's $1.5 million a month just on OnlyFans.
She's quitting.
That's what she made some video like about a month ago saying that she was quitting OnlyFans. I think it was because of the whole like tier 3 sub stalker situation when she was getting stalked like a few weeks ago.
Oh, there was a feller stalking her?
Yeah.
I instantly assumed it was a feller. I should have said a person.
Was
crazy.
Hanging out like in her city, like where she lives in Texas. Hanging out at the Starbucks across the street from where her P.O. box was. And then finally he went to her house and was, walking around the front of her house.
That would not end well for a fella stepping out on front of the house. Unlike Boogie, that would not go well. That would not go well. I had an uncle who shot through the door at a guy.
Wow.
My uncle, who lived out in the head of a holly, did not want to pay somebody. He just started shooting through the door at him.
Have you had anybody like message you or be like obsessed with you, Ruben?
Yes, actually. There was a guy who would follow me into every single game that I joined, and he would try to ruin all my videos. And it got to be such a big problem. I started blocking him on everything, and then he started contacting all my friends, telling them that they need to get me in contact with him. And I ended up confronting him finally, and I was like, dude, there's something seriously wrong with you if you keep doing this. And I found out that he had been arrested for stalking Mr. Beast.
What?
So this guy was like certified crazy. I think
so he'd already stalked one guy, and now he's after you.
Yeah, and that was a little unnerving for me. But I've never had anyone like show up to my house or anything like that. When Roblox filed this lawsuit, they actually listed an address as the service address that they planned to serve me at, but it wasn't actually my address. I think that they just looked me up in like public records, and they probably picked the first address that showed up. And because of that, I never got physically served with the lawsuit. I actually ended up having to, my lawyer and I decided we would just accept service without having them send anything to my house. And I wanted to do that because I didn't want my address to be on public record in Pacer.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Especially knowing that feller is out
what
there.
What did he do to Mr. Beast? How did he stalk Mr. Beast?
I think he probably did the same thing where he just kept trying to message him and messaging his friends and all that, trying to get in touch with him. And at one point, he actually showed up to, I don't know if it was his house, but he tried to meet him in person, and someone called the police on him, and he ended up spending a night in jail over it.
What does a stalker think is going to happen? That you're just going to show up at a guy's house and be like, "Hey, it's the stalker. Come on in."
They're not people that do that kind of thing are very, very delusional. They have who knows what they actually think. It's like it's hard to even know what people's intentions are.
Where it's I've seen Ruben's videos. I've watched 900 hours of him. I know everything he's doing. We're best buddies.
Yeah. Probably something like that, and they don't understand how weird it is to continuously try to contact someone like that.
Yeah. You know, it doesn't. It's one thing to, I don't know, tweet at somebody or send a little message real quick that says appreciate you, like your content, but it's another thing to show up at their fucking house.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary. That's actually really scary. So it's like, you've had the stalker, you've had the Mr. Beast stalker. So now that you technically are you not allowed to do Roblox content now, videos?
So I could do videos about Roblox. What I agreed to was I will not access any part of their platform that requires an account. So I could go on their website, I could look up people, I can look up games. I can't play any games because you need an account to play games. But as long as I don't log in on their website, I'm fine. So I could talk about them as long as everything I say is true to my knowledge. And yeah, I'm still able to criticize them. I was actually working on a video about their ventures in China when this lawsuit got dropped on my lap. I was right about to finish it. I think I was working on like the Patreon end screen when I got this news. And I'm probably still going to release that video. Basically, regular Roblox is banned in China. I think if you're in China and you try to go to their website, it gets blocked by the ISP. And the reason is because China has a lot of regulations on what your video games can and can't have. Like you can't have blood, you can't have skulls,
right?
Yeah, no skeletons, no zombies.
So zombies are gone too?
Yep, no zombies. Anything.
I know they have those weird hopping ghosts in China. Like that's their thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you could probably avoid all that stuff if you bribe the right people anyways. But what Roblox's solution to this was, since their platform is so anyone can make a game and publish it and have people play it, they partnered with a company called Tencent, which is one of the biggest internet companies in the world. It's definitely the biggest publicly tradable company in China, where Tencent authorizes specific games to be playable by Chinese users. And they invented a completely new platform called Luobu for this.
Oh, I want to say that Luobu. Luobu.
And there's a ton of new rules for games in China. If you're a developer on Roblox and you want to port your game over to Luobu, you have to follow this extremely long list of rules about what you can and can't have in your Chinese game. And I made a video about this that did really well called, I think it's like China's Guidelines for Roblox Content. And it includes no depictions of Chinese territories being invaded, no blood, no red screen flashing effects that resemble blood, stuff like that. They have
I'm old, so I can remember a time whenever the WWF games would come out, there would always be a note attached to it, or somewhere in the emails from PR people, that Triple H was not to be depicted in a unflattering manner. I think what the language was. It was something like that.
Yeah.
And so there was a gold rush of, well, we all have to show him just bloodied and beaten up in every screenshot we post.
Yeah. Well, Roblox, I think that they were probably handed a list of demands as to what they can and can't have in their game. In China, there's a requirement where if your company has over 100 employees, you have to have a Chinese Communist Party department, to my knowledge.
No.
And so people will regulate everything that happens with your company. And I think one of the rules was even you can't refer to Taiwan as its own country.
Oh,
in your
yeah, I
game?
know
absolutely
John
not
Cena got in
on
some
the
deep doo-doo on that one.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
you know that I can't think of it's like that Chinese like TikTok or YouTube. What is it called? Bebop. What is it?
I know it's owned by ByteDance.
Yeah,
I know TikTok's
they
Chinese,
ban
isn't it?
people. They ban people for saying that too. So you
Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
can't say like Taiwan is completely. If you say that, you're done. And they
Oh,
yeeted
yeah.
really
Well,
huge
we
people
here
off
at
their
Real Weird
platform.
Sickos, we fully support not only Taiwan. We believe in free Tibet. We
Hell
believe
yeah.
in
Hong Kong, free
Hong
Hong
Kong.
Kong.
We
Let's
believe in all
go.
of it.
That's how we roll.
Absolutely.
China number none. That's what China is.
Hell yeah.
There used to
So
be a thing in
anyway,
games,
so
Jen.
anyway.
Every time the online games, the guys would they would get on the mics and go, China number one.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it'd just be 30
So they
guys
had
saying
all
that.
of these regulations for that. So what did they do? They were just like, no, fuck this. Obviously.
Well, if you had to submit your game, you had to like apply for your game to be approved for the Chinese version. And so I assume that once you apply, one of the censors investigates your game and makes sure that it's in compliance with all these China rules. And their platform, I think it was mobile only, like you couldn't access it with a PC. And so what I did was I got an emulator and I had a friend hook me up with a WeChat account, which is what you use to sign in. And I actually got into some of these Chinese servers and I found a user in a Chinese game who had an account on the regular version of Roblox. And I told him, like, why are you on this game? It's all like censored and stuff. I have a game, and if you join me, I'll give you a ton of free stuff. And he was like, okay, sure. And I gave him my username, and he joined a game that I made called Runker 51, which is kind of like a military sandbox game. And so it has a ton of guns, it has explosions, it has blood, gore. There was for this occasion, I actually built a museum within the game dedicated to the Tiananmen Square massacre. And I gave this user a tour of the museum, and I kind of asked him some questions about it for a video. And I even I set up an interview stage where I kind of asked him questions about China and how he felt about all the censorship and stuff that goes on over there and what he would do if he was in charge. And I put it all together for a video that I called Sneaking Chinese Users Over the Firewall.
Yep.
And I kind of feel like I feel like, yeah, because I was bringing people together, you know. I was bringing two
I would love to find out like what does the average Chinese dude who loves video games, what do they feel about Chinese censorship? I'd even like to ask him something like how do you feel about these movies that are trying to pander towards China? Do you feel good about it? Do you feel like they're just pandering?
I don't have a problem with all the patriotic movies they have in China. I think patriotism is a good thing, honestly. Because we have Top Gun. I mean,
especially if you don't know like any different. It's the same thing with like North Koreans, like the ones that literally know nothing different. Like, of course they're gonna have like loyalty. You know, they just they don't know anything else. Yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah,
which I can imagine it's the same way in China. Like they don't know any differently because they're not seeing.
Imagine if we introduced them to pizza and the Lord of the Rings.
It would be over.
Wait,
they don't have Lord of the Rings in China?
I would say not. There's skeletons in that.
Oh yeah,
there is. Yeah, you're right.
The Witch King can be killed by no man, and then the girl takes off her helmet. I'm no man.
You're right.
Everybody loves that.
You're right.
Yeah, there's a lot of movie producers that have to make like censored versions of their movies that air in China.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Is I forget if it was an Iron Man or a Doctor Strange, one of those movies. They had actually cast some famous Chinese actors and shot stuff just for them. So it was like a Chinese version of the movie. I'd be curious to look at something like that. If you remember there's a famous meme of Star Wars that it was from the Chinese version. It's a thing that everybody says now, do not want. It comes from, it was Revenge of the Sith, I think is the name of the movie. It's the third Star Wars prequel where Darth Vader finds out that he's killed his woman and he yells out no. But in China, it just says "do not want." that was their translation of the subtitles.
Wow!
And so that's where that means.
Do not want.
Yeah, do not want.
Amazing. They in one of the newer movies, the ones that Disney made, you know, Finn, the Black Jedi.
They took him off the poster, Jen.
Right, or they put him in the background.
Yeah.
They put him way in the background.
Pulled him all the way off the poster. It's just like, no, we can't have this dude. Yeah. We got to get this guy out of here.
They were like, this isn't going to do well if we put a black guy in the front of our poster in China. No one's going to want to see our movie here.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I guarantee that movies like Dolomite, that's a movie, you put Dolomite in front of anybody, everybody loves Dolomite. Dolomite's one of the funniest, coolest movies ever.
I've never seen it.
Jenna, I haven't seen it.
I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is.
I just Googled it. I'm just getting pictures of rocks on Google Images.
It's a little hard to describe. He's a ass-kicking pimp who protects his community, and he uses kung fu, and he beats people up with his belt, and he talks in everything he says rhymes. It's a hilarious movie. It's such a wild spoof of like detective movies and action comedies, and it was made by a guy who he had gotten into doing comedy records where he would talk in rhymes and say outrageous, wild stuff. You know, very, very obscene and vulgar material, but it was very funny, and people loved him. And he ended up making his own independent movie called Dolomite. Put it together himself. That's the American dream as far as I'm concerned. Do your own thing and build your own thing. Find your own audience and then sell them a product. And Dolomite is one of those legendary movies of just like, here's a guy who was able to do it, who got his own thing made and produced and out there, and people that see it love it because it's so far out. And they just made that Netflix did a biopic of the guy that played Dolomite. Eddie Murphy played him in the movie.
So like, if you having a passion project, obviously. For so many years, Ruben, you liked making Roblox geared content, you know? So now that you can't log into the site, like, what are your plans? What are your plans? Because you're like at 930K subscribers. Yeah, what's your plans to hit that milli? Like, what are you going to do?
There's other games that people are interested in watching. You know, I think more than anything, people don't watch me because it's Roblox. You know, there's like a million Roblox YouTubers. If people really just care about Roblox, they can go watch them.
They like the way that you handle yourself. They love that deep voice.
They like the editing.
Great voice.
Room, I was like, oh, that deep voice. Listen to that masculine tone.
I mean, Roblox content isn't exactly off the table for me because I could still make videos about them. I've actually considered just having other people record gameplay for me.
Yeah.
And then I could go and edit it.
It's all life finds a way, Jenna.
Right. And
always.
You know, I just I know that's what people really want to see is they want to see more goofy Roblox stuff. But you know, I've released videos in games like Unturned that have done really well. I just put out a GTA video that I feel like would have done well.
GTA usually usually GTA still does really well for the most part.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that video was age restricted almost immediately after it came out. So really? I might have to find some new ideas for that. Yeah,
the Roblox stuff. I feel like Roblox. Everything I've ever heard of Roblox was it was the little kid. When I looked at it, it was like Lego people. Like a Lego people Minecraft kind of thing. It's like this ain't for me. Like I don't get it. I'm old. I want to play Castlevania again. That's my kind of video game.
Back when games were real.
Castlevania content.
Back now that was a game. I played them real games.
Oh, listen, I played Castlevania last night. For some reason, Twitch gave away for their Prime thing the Castlevania Anniversary Collection on that streaming service that they do. And it's like, I'll give this a shot. Let's try it out. And it just did not want to work for me. Every time
I don't even recognize Twitch anymore. Like, what the fuck even is Twitch anymore?
I don't know. It was called Luna, I think what the thing was. It's a weird service through Amazon. But it's interesting to try out because I've played Castlevania 1,000 times. I know what it's supposed to feel like, and it does not feel like that.
Uh-oh.
So you really could just find something that really like resonates and you can change it up. I mean, you have that.
And there's 1,000 games out there. I think Ruben would do well to play something that was that let him be creative and do weird stuff and try anything that was online that let him do pranks and be silly with people. I feel like that would be good for him.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a Gmod video right now. Gmod is really similar to Roblox.
See, I always loved Gmod. I always loved it.
And you can strap rockets to jumpers and then just send somebody flying at them.
Yep, I used to spend time on there back in the day.
Make weird rubber band things that tie to another thing and then zip a guy away.
The bathtub rockets.
Yeah.
You sit in. It's funny. Yeah. I actually did have a Roblox video get age restricted once. And it was, there's a lot of games that are strictly role-playing games where the developer will just build you like a big neighborhood and let all the kiddies run loose in it. And a friend of mine recorded a lot of gameplay and just gave it to me for me to edit a video out of. And it was of him going around this map of this neighborhood, just walking into people's houses, and everyone was just having sex with each other. It was just a giant fuck fest of people having role play sex on Roblox. So it was
like Second Life.
Yes, it was like the Second Life of Roblox.
Second Life, Jenna, Second Life might be one of the craziest video games. I don't want to call it a video game.
Yeah.
It is so insane. And I know some friendly guys who would travel in a spaceship around and drop what would effectively be called a dick bomb. Where you would drop it, you put the button on the spaceship, and a bomb would drop out. But it looked like a dick, and when it landed, it would fire out 1,000 dicks everywhere, like big rubbery, dildos. And some of them would have like wings and fly away. And everybody inside the spaceship was dressed with mud kids, or the Afro Man from Habbo Hotel, like the large Afro in the suit.
I remember those days, the Habbo Hotel days.
Yeah.
Blocking. There was an airport map that people would always go and block the lines to, and they would be shouting things like Allah Akbar.
Oh God!
Those are the days. The pools closed days.
Yeah, pools closed days.
Yes. Oh God, that's like that is that's gonna be lore forever.
Those classic screenshots.
When I was in middle school, I actually participated in one of the great Habbo Hotel raids, and
really?
You're making me feel old. How old are you, Ruben? Hold on, before you go on, how old are you?
I'm 25. I just turned 25 in May.
Okay, so you're not like terribly younger than me.
So you would have been
6 years.
I'm trying to think when did they do the first big when the pool was first closed? That was a legendary night.
That could have been like 2010, 2011.
I feel like
that's around that time.
2006.
No, it was. If I had to guess, it was definitely like 2011.
You remember Baba?
Mm-hmm.
Baba? Anytime you typed in a cuss word, it would change it to Baba.
Baba? Yep.
Baba.
Oh my God, bringing me back.
There was like a lobby that everyone would join as soon as they logged in the Habbo Hotel. And when I joined, it was like 90% Afro suits. It was just chaos. And
sometimes
I got
you
banned.
Just get in the game and you just meet your people.
Yeah, those were my people right there.
Ah, yes.
And I got a moderator note that started off with, "Enough is enough." They were furious that people were going and doing this.
Yeah, they just can't. I mean, it's like GameStop. GameStop for a long time would get the phone calls about.
Oh yeah,
don't call anybody.
Man,
I was traveling around a lot, and we're nerds, so we end up in GameStops. I would always ask the guys, "Hey, have you guys gotten those calls?" Every single one of them across the country.
That was a phenomenon. Everyone's consciousness was in sync when they called and asked for Battletoads.
The boys will be boys.
Oh my God. I actually really love it. So you could pretty much do anything. Like, the world is your oyster, and I think I think that's going to get you to, your gold.
Push it past the million, straight to 2 million, then to 5, then 10, then 20, 30, 50, 100 million. Sky's the limit.
I'd like to do a Habbo video, but I'm worried I'd get sued if I tried doing the same antics as I did on Roblox. I think
Habbo they don't have the money. They don't have Roblox money.
Is Habbo Hotel still a thing?
I think so. Didn't Quackity do a bunch of stuff in it?
they don't have the money, Ruben. They don't have Roblox money, so go fucking do it. That'd be like we're sitting here encouraging him to do so many bad things. We're like, yeah, just fucking do it. But I like it.
You're telling me to hack? Are you telling me to go hack?
I will look into this camera and I will say the words, I disavow Jen. I do not. The Real Weird Sickos brand. Not
you want to see it. You want to see the Habbo content.
Whether or not we want to see it, it's not what we're saying here. That's not the conversation I'm having.
Hey, you're talking to a cyber mob leader right now.
Exactly. We're like, and he's like such an epic hacker. He's a cyber mob hacker.
How do you know that Jenna and me aren't digital assassins?
Oh, you guys might work for Roblox, actually. Are you trying to convince me to break my settlement agreement? You trying to get another lawsuit dropped in my lap?
Maybe. We actually we started this podcast a year ago just for this reason.
Oh, yeah?
It's been a year.
It is. It's been over a year. I
get a lot of messages on Twitter where people will be like, hey, here's my account if you want to log in. Come play my game. And I'm just like,
Sneaky, you think it's like it's definitely like there's got to be a few moles in there. There has to be.
A good friend of mine who's been banned from Twitter some like 50 times. He has people doing that with him, where it's like, oh yeah, here's my account, man. I'm from England. Like you could totally use this one. They'll never know.
Oh yeah,
man, don't keep doing it, buddy.
Before I got the lawsuit, this is pretty funny. I asked my viewers to donate me accounts because mine were getting banned so quickly. And I ended up getting hundreds of accounts that were given to me. And the next video that I made, I got a sponsorship offer from Dashlane, which is a password manager. And so what I did was I saved all of the accounts that were given to me in my password manager. And when I went to the Roblox website and I clicked the login screen, it just gave me a huge list of like hundreds of accounts that I could use at my disposal. And anytime one of them got banned, I would just go and remove it from the password manager.
So I got her and go get another.
Damn.
And I don't want to go into too much detail, but I ended up having to remove the sponsored segment from that video because I kind of advertised their product as it's a Roblox moderation suite or something like that.
Oh shit.
And so something happened where I had to delete that. And
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of these VPN guys, if somebody was like, hey, here's what you could really do with a VPN. Like, whoa, buddy.
Yeah, that was a little too cyber mobby, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
Ruben, where can we find you? Everywhere? Channel, Twitter, everything? Tell us.
Yep, I have a YouTube channel almost at 1 million. If people want to subscribe to that, they can.
Yes.
Get me to 1 million.
Like a million's a big number. Like that's a lot of people.
Yep, I have a Twitter account at Real Ruben Sim. All I ask is no furries. Follow me on Twitter. I actually
no
started
messy
blocking
tails.
furries.
Stay away, messy tails.
Yeah, no brown coyote. Nothing like that.
Pup.
Lemonade coyote. Sorry.
Oh,
get my furries mixed up. And I have a Discord too. It's linked in all my YouTube videos if anyone wants to join that. Also, no furries on our Discord server. We have a rule against furries. We actually
I love it.
I'll tell you a story about furries when we get off the podcast. The rules are rules. You know, you gotta sweep out the furries.
Yeah. We had so many problems with them, we had to eject all of them from the server.
Yes.
They probably like that word eject because it sounds like something else.
We had to ejaculate them from our server.
Jen, did you make a new video this week?
That was last week, but another one's coming next week. Yeah, another one's coming.
Last week, yeah.
If I can finish it, it'll probably be up by the time this podcast is up. So, yeah,
cool.
Something like that.
I'm posting memes. I'm on everything at Real Weird Sickos. You can find us. We've got our Discord full of cool people saying
come on,
cool
like
things
join the fucking Discord. Like we know you're watching it. Just join the Discord already. Like there are people that want to be active on here, but you motherfuckers are not joining. So just join it, okay? God damn it.
Here's all I ask of people. I want them to stay weird, I want them to stay real, and I want them to stay sick. Those are the commandments of this podcast right now here today. That's
Hell yeah.
That's all I got. That's all
Stay
I got.
sick.
I'm done.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. So we'll see you guys probably, it'll be next week. So toodles, Roblox can suck my asshole.